What's up, Honors? Today we're checking out every store's best Halloween animatronics for 2024, so let's get started. And to start off today's video, let's of course check out Big Lots, which again this year has given us another awesome animatronic lineup. One of my favorites here is definitely this new Howlin' werewolf guy. Honestly, I've got to say, it might be one of the best werewolf props we've ever gone. I really like his animation, how he howls up at the moon there. And this guy's gigantic. I think he was about like 8 or so feet. And overall, he just looks so cool. Overall, he's definitely an awesome animatronic for this year. Another one of my favorites too has to be the new Scarecrow guy for this year. I really love the feature where he has the crows flying around its head. It's really cool and something we haven't really seen done before with animatronics, which I like. Look at the Scarecrow is pretty generic like Techie usually does, nothing too crazy. But still, I really love how this one looks. And lastly, here for Big Lots, we've got the Lunging Ghost, which, wow, this guy is a great jump scare. Love the overall look of him. He's kind of different from other ghosts we've seen before, which is cool. He's more original. And then, yeah, that jump scare effect, it's not the greatest. I wish it was, like, a bit more, a bit faster, but for what it is, for its price, it's not too bad of a jump scare and makes this guy another awesome one from Big Lots for this year. And next up here, moving on to Menards, which this store I've never actually been to, but from videos, they always have some great animatronics, and they have two this year, which I really love. The first one here that I'm a big fan of is this new Pumpkin Seed guy. And I'm going to say it again for this prop, I think he's the best Pumpkin Reaper type animatronic we've ever gone. I love all the detail on this guy, like his head there looks incredible. Then his clothing there and everything, the feet, the hands all look good in the animation. Overall, a ton of awesome stuff going for this prop, which makes me just love him a lot. And another guy from Menards this year, which is really cool, is this towering clown guy. I think one of the reasons why I like him is because his outfit just reminds me so much of Hugs the Clown, which is one of my favorite clown animatronics of all time. And overall, his head design's pretty cool. I like his overall animation, everything. Honestly, a pretty good clown animatronic. And next up, moving on to Sam's Club, where they've once again given us some cool animatronics, so let's check them out. And the first guy here from Sam's Club is, of course, this new Triple Freight Reaper, which I really love. It's basically this 10-foot Reaper animatronic, which the Reaper itself there, he looks so awesome. I love the design they went with. And then the cool part about him is once he's activated, is these two different skeletons that kind of pop out of his robe there and kind of surprise you and talk to you. Overall, it's a really cool concept for an animatronic, and I love how it actually turned out. And it's a pretty good deal, only $230. And another really cool animatronic from them for this year is this new Vintage Witch animatronic, which I'm not sure if this is from last year or it's from this year, but anyways, this thing looks really cool. I think it's one of my favorite witch props I've ever seen. I love the overall design for it. It has like the bird there, whatever, on his shoulder. And then, yeah, just the overall look of this, it's really cool and just overall a great witch animatronic. And next up here, we got one of the largest online retailer of Halloween animatronics. And this store, of course, is HalloweenCostumes.com. And each year, Halloween Costumes makes and produces their own animatronics. And this year, they've got a couple of cool ones, like this new guy from The Nightmare Before Christmas. I'm completely blanking on what his name is, but he's a really cool character from the movie, and I love how they did it for this animatronic. He has the head right there that pops open, you can see his brain, and then he has the arm movement there too. And he's complete with his whole chair there and everything, which is really cool. Overall, this is a great licensed animatronic. And another awesome one, here's the new Buzzhead animatronic, which kind of took inspiration from Spirit Halloween's Buzzsaw animatronic. It's kind of a similar looking creepy guy, but instead of having the buzzsaw in his hand, it's instead in his head, like cut him in half, which is really cool. And yeah, this guy, a lot of detail. I really love him. And next up here, we've got At Home, which is usually more known for putting out some awesome Halloween inflatables. But recently, they've been getting a bunch of Halloween animatronics, and this year they have some awesome ones. They've got a few new 12-foot animatronics this year, which are alright, but this one zombie guy is a really cool one. He kind of has the similar design as all the other Gemmy 12-footers, but I think this guy might be my favorite out of any ones they produced. The head design on this guy looks awesome. The clothing choice and everything works perfectly for him. Overall, I'm a huge fan of the 12-foot zombie. Another awesome one this year from At Home is this dapper skeleton guy. I like how the skeleton's all dressed up all fancy, like he has a top hat there and everything. And then the cool part about him is he actually plays spooky, scary skeletons, which usually I'm not the hugest fan when they make an animatronic just have some random song in it. But for this guy, I really like how they did add that saw in there. And works well for the prop and overall just makes him so awesome. And now moving on to the last store we'll talk about in this episode, we've of course got Micheals. And for Micheals this year, it's the first time we're actually getting an animatronic lineup from them, which is really cool. And there's two cool ones here that I think are the best ones from them, so let's talk about them. The first guy here is this new hovering phantom, which isn't exclusive to Micheals, and I love the look of this guy. He kind of has that similar shape to the Spirit Halloween Howlin' Spirit from last year, but instead it's this Reaper version, which I do very much prefer. I like the face on there, I like how he's the lantern and everything. Not too sure what his movement is, but still he's a really cool animatronic. And one other cool one from Micheals this year, which is returning from Lowe's from a couple years ago, but is now going to be so Micheals. This guy, of course, is the Roman Chucky animatronic, which I think it's a pretty decent Chucky animatronic. It's not as crazy as the one that's going to be sold at Home Depot this year, but still some cool features about it. I like how he roams around there. Usually Roman props aren't the greatest, but for him I do appreciate that, at least for the base there, they actually made it look like something, unlike other ones where it's just the black base. And then he has the arm movement there. The look of him looks pretty accurate to the shows and movies and everything. Overall, it's cool to be seeing this guy at Micheals for this year. And with all that said, everyone, that concludes part 2 of this video series I'm doing. If you want to go watch part 1 where I talked about 6 other retailers' best animatronic for 2024, you can go check that out. Or make sure you subscribe and turn notifications, because the next episode of this to come out is going to focus on Canadian Halloween animatronics for this year, which is going to be very interesting to check out, because this year Canada's getting a lot of stuff, so I can't wait to film that video. Anyways, I'll see you all next time. Goodbye.